No offense, but how many of those speeches of yours are we supposed to sit through? I mean, all right already.
Jimmy Kimmel giving it to Matthew McConaughey last night at the Emmys. I think the biggest news is that it ended on time. The first award show that ever ended early. So say what you want.
Seth Meyers, he was on it.
Say what you want about Seth Meyers, but that guy gets her done. Do we have Jason Nathanson?
I'm here.
Jason Nathanson, good morning. All right. I mean, when was the last time you went to an award show that ended early and or on time?
I know, it's crazy, right? These things usually go big, but that's, I mean, kind of a testament, I guess, to Seth Meyers and the team behind it. It wasn't a big bloated show where you had pointless bits and him dancing and singing around. He told some jokes. He got off stage, and you had Jimmy Kimmel there, which I actually thought was actually interesting because this is on NBC last night. It's their turn. They get Seth Meyers to host, and then Jimmy Kimmel kind of upstaged Seth Meyers a little bit and was almost a little funnier and raunchier than he was. So it was funny to watch.
Also, Jimmy Fallon had a nice sort of interaction with Colbert because they're going to be competing here pretty soon.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that Colbert wins also last night, and maybe next year his show will be up against himself for when he takes over for Letterman. So we're gonna be in a time warp where time is a flat circle and True Detective and blah blah blah.
How can it be that Stephen Colbert has won that award 7 years in a row?
It's amazing. Is that it? 7 years?
Something like 7 or 8 years in a row, yeah.
I thought that and before that it was like The Daily Show was winning for so long, and
right.
I thought that the Daily, and then you have The Amazing Race is still winning. I mean, the Emmys are pretty predictable. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily, because these are good quality shows that are winning, but there wasn't a lot of people thought maybe True Detective might win last night, or Orange is the New Black, or Netflix, or something like that, but that didn't happen.
Yeah. So the big winner, and we were having this a discussion earlier before you came on the show, Jason, and that is, so Breaking Bad's the big winner. It won the drama, an actor, an actress, and all that stuff. My question to you, though, and you're a smart enough guy to answer this question.
You're setting me up here. Yeah.
If Breaking Bad would have debuted on NBC or ABC or CBS, would it have survived and or thrived?
It's an interesting game to play, and we never know, because it would have been a much different show than it was on AMC. I mean, there are certain things that the networks feel that they cannot do when it comes to content and language and storylines, and a story about a guy with cancer, a teacher who turns to selling meth. I don't know if it would have been the same. It would have been a neutered down show. You would have had they would have had a lot less freedom. Also, the numbers on AMC, they were good, but they weren't near network level.
Right.
So the network would have probably canceled it earlier if it wasn't getting as good ratings. So, it would not have been the same show. It probably wouldn't have been an Emmy-winning show if it were on
right.
CBS.
And I said more people watch The Bachelor than watch Breaking Bad.
True, but it's not necessarily a fair comparison, because people just don't watch AMC with the level that they watch CBS. People watch NCIS. That's the biggest show, the biggest drama, the most watched drama. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily better. It's just it's on CBS at a time where people know it, so more people watch it than they find True Detective on HBO
right.
or something on Netflix.
Well, what was your biggest surprise from last night?
The biggest surprise had to have been that Netflix didn't do as well as some people thought it would, that Orange is the New Black was shut out completely, that there was no real surprise last night. And also, a pleasant surprise was Weird Al, was seeing him come out and do kind of a parody medley of the different theme songs and sing and make fun of John Hamm and some other people. I mean, it's great to see a resurgence for a guy that I loved as a kid. I couldn't get enough Weird Al. Give me his next album every time. Give me his movie, what was it, UHF or VHF? I was a huge Weird Al fan, so to see him having a resurgence, that's a great surprise.
You know you're on the radio, right? You're saying that publicly.
I love Weird Al, and I'm not the only one. And
You're not the only one.
I'm not ashamed. His album went to #1 this year. There are a lot of other people who are in the closet or out of the closet who love Weird Al, and I'm one of them.
How about John Hamm's beard? That deserves an Emmy in and of itself.
You know, I've been up close to that beard before. He grows it during the off season, and I've seen it in all its splendor. It was between him and Bryan Cranston, I think, for the most interesting facial hair. Bryan Cranston had the new kind of pencil mustache, and Bryan Cranston had the beard, or John Hamm had the beard, and it's a nice beard. It's a soft beard.
John Hamm grew that beard on a Tuesday. What are we talking about in the off season? So explain to me Bryan Cranston coming up and planting one on Julia Louis-Dreyfus. What was that all about?
That was fun. So the two of them were together on Seinfeld, which some people may remember or not remember. Bryan Cranston was on the show for 1 or 2 episodes.
He was the dentist.
They kissed. Yeah, he was Tim Watley. And they kissed on the show, and so the bit was when they were presenting an award together that Julia Louis-Dreyfus didn't remember the kiss. So in order to jog her memory when she won, obviously they planned this out beforehand, that he would kiss her, and he planted one on her and pretty much transferred that mustache that he had to her face. I mean, it was a long, big kiss. And so backstage, she said that, they talked with their spouses beforehand about it and made sure that everything was okay. And she loved how committed he was to the kiss because he really went for it. And she thought it was great that his commitment was awesome.
I also go ahead.
What about Robin? What about Billy Crystal's tribute to Robin Williams?
Yeah, that was really nice. I think it struck the right tone. You have Billy Crystal, who is a longtime friend for decades of Robin Williams, really one of the only guys who could do justice to something like this. And he got out there, and it was emotional, but it was also funny, which is something I think you need from Billy Crystal when talking about Robin Williams. Told some funny stories about him, how Robin Williams, they were in some sports conversation with some guy, and Robin Williams wasn't a huge sports fan, and he said his favorite team was the San Franciscos.
Yeah.
That was it. He didn't have a name after it. So, it was I think it struck the right tone.
That's Jason Nathanson, who left the after party to come and talk to us. No shots before pre-parties or post-parties, right? So nothing to report there, right?
No, I was hanging out with Sarah Silverman, so it was all smoke, not shots.
There you go. Jason Nathanson, be safe. Thanks for checking in.
My pleasure.
You got it. ABC News entertainment correspondent Jason Nathanson hanging out with the Emmy winners last night. It is 7:30, Big 5.